Hello and welcome everybody to today's video. Welcome to the Vee Academy. My name is Crumbrion, Professor Crumbrion, if you would. And today we're going to be taking a look at a wonderful game that we played on Pokemon Trading Card Game Live, and be happy to get your reactions to it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. If you want to follow me and watch games in real time, check me out on twitch.tv/Crumbrion. For now, let's go check out the game. Thanks for watching.
3, 2, 1, go!
So one thing I will just kind of talk about in terms of the Grimmsnarl matchup, because I know that people have been struggling with Gardevoir into Grimmsnarl, and so I'll give a quick breakdown about how this particular deck deals with Grimmsnarl. Okay. What we like to do in Grimmsnarl matchups, we like to get our board established as much as we can, like anything else. We want to get our 2 Munkidoris down, obviously, get our 2 Ralts down. We want to get our attacker using TM Evo. Ideally, into a Grimmsnarl matchup, what I would like to use is Mimikyu. I'd love to use Mimikyu into Grimmsnarl because of Safeguard. Safeguard protects Mimikyu from the Grimmsnarl's main attack. It does not prevent the bench damage. Shaman is the best at preventing bench damage, okay? So you have 2 Ralts, 2 Monkeys, Shaman on the bench, and you have your Mimikyu in the active slot for the TM Evo. You can get the rest of the Pokemon later, so eventually when something does get knocked out, because I guarantee you Mimikyu will get knocked out, or something is going to get gusted up and something is going to get knocked out. Mimikyu will help at least with Ghost Eye, place 7 damage counters per turn. Especially if they have Froslass Munkidori. Mimikyu will not be long for this world, so that will open up your primary attacker, Drifloon. What you want to do, however, is attack with Screamtail, because Screamtail will take great advantage of the Frostlass's ticking damage onto the opponent's, the Grimmsnarl's side of the board. This applies to the same thing with any sort of Froslass Munkidori engine. Screamtail is going to be your best friend in this. Key details: you want to get your Munkidoris set up. You want to get your monkeys with dark energy so you can keep pushing that damage off of your side of the field. And you want Screamtail to complete those KOs. Because keep in mind, if they have 1 Froslass, if they have 2 Froslass, you want to be able to attack into that. You want to be able to go into that with Screamtail and have that Froslass damage tick over, not commit as much damage as you need to on Screamtail to take the KO itself, because you need to be conscious of having the Munkidori push damage back over to you for a multiple turn, for a multi-KO. So keeping Screamtail at a nice healthy 40 damage means that they're going to have to commit 2 Munkidoris to a single Screamtail to knock it out, which is good for you, right? You have, if you have Shaman on the bench, if Screamtail's pushed to the bench because they're gusting something else up, they can't complete the KO on Screamtail because they won't have the access to the bench damage. Screamtail doing 80 damage to anything on the field gets you in range of knocking out their Munkidoris, gets you in range of knocking out their Impidimps. Those are your primary targets, right? You want to take out their Impidimps, you want to take out their Morgrims. Those are your primary targets. Once those are down, take out their Munkidoris, because as soon as they can't start pushing damage back over to you, their Grimmsnarls are going to be vulnerable. As weird as it sounds, Grimmsnarl should be your last priority target. If take out the Impidimp, take out the backup Impidimp if there is one. Generally, Marnie's Froslass will only be playing 1 Grimmsnarl at a time. When they feel it's going to be in danger of losing it, they'll try to put down a second one, but their board is going to be 2 Froslass, 2 Munkidori, and potentially just 1 Grimmsnarl or a 3rd Munkidori on the bench. They'll have a backup Impidimp sometimes. But what you want to do is you want to start starving their board, take out the Impidimps if they start putting them down. Use Screamtail to reach around whatever Pokemon is in the active slot to take out that. You're going to have to be trading 1 prize for 1 prize on that, but it will actually add up to difference at the end of the game, because if they put down 1 Froslass, and they attack with Grimmsnarl, that Grimmsnarl is taking 10 damage on the trip into your turn. Then, all of a sudden, you just have to attack with Drifloon. You get Drifloon with the Charm, you're dealing 300 damage. On the trip back to their turn, the Grimmsnarl is getting knocked out. And they have to spend all of that time committing to getting back to another Grimmsnarl. Now, you probably will lose a Drifloon to a Munkidori in return. However, that's 2 prizes that you're taking, and they have to commit a Munkidori to take out Drifloon. So this battle is going to be very important, back and forth on who is taking out what priority targets. Priority number 1, taking out the Impidimps before they become Grimmsnarls. If they become Grimmsnarls, take out the Munkidoris. So the Impidimps or the Morgrims, if you can reach either one of those, which you can with 80 damage from Screamtail and 30 damage from a Monkey Push, you can actually take out a Morgrim. But you want to take out those first, then prioritize Munkidoris, then prioritize Grimmsnarls, and leave the Frostlasses up as much as possible, unless it's getting to a dangerous point on your side because you haven't been able to establish your Munkidoris. Munkidoris are going to be very important in your side of the matchup. Your opponent will be attacking them constantly. Protect them with Shaman as much as you can. Realize that Mew is not protected and Gardevoir is not protected by Shaman. Any of your Rulebox Pokemon, so if you play Pheasantipity EX, that's not protected, so that will get damaged by Shadow Bullet. Those types of things. Keep that in mind. And also, it's also very good because if those are getting targeted, then something else like Ralts is not getting targeted. Something else like Drifloon that has low HP is not getting targeted. Shaman's not getting targeted. Obviously, can't be. But those are important things to remember. So if you're struggling with that matchup, just make sure you're setting the proper priority targets. If they get out 2 Grimmsnarls, it's not the end of the world because they don't have control over the amount of damage they're doing to themselves. And you have a very, very easy way to take out a Grimmsnarl in 1 turn with Drifloon without having to overextend with Monkey. You can actually keep pushing damage over with your Munkidoris onto their Monkey. Make sure that Monkey is within range between that turn, because if you're hitting, say for example, you get their Monkey at 90 damage because you pushed over 60 from yours. Then you hit Grimmsnarl for 300 with Drifloon. That tick over, they're taking 20 damage, so they're losing Grimmsnarl and they're losing their Munkidori. That's 3 huge prizes that's in your pocket, and then they don't have a way to push damage back over. It's going to start piling up on them. So this is why I think that the Froslass version into Gardevoir is a much more closer to 50% than what people think it is. Because of the weakness, obviously it's going to have an advantage on Gardevoir. However, how you play the match is going to be very important. I'm going to show a match here where Mimikyu actually did some heavy lifting in it, and I'll play that coming up next here, and we'll check that out. But take a look at it, pay attention, because all of these things, you're going to see how the opponents play. You're going to see how they avoid certain things. Smart players will not play Froslass into Gardevoir because it's giving Gardevoir free damage to push around, but take advantage of that when that does happen. Same thing with any sort of Munkidori Froslass list. You want to take advantage of that damage that they're generating on themselves. Use Screamtail to reach around the Pokemon that you don't want to attack. If they themselves play Shaman, that's 1 less board spot that they have to put down either an additional Munkidori, either an additional Froslass, or have an open spot for a second Grimmsnarl. So that is good for you too. Keep that in mind. But that's my advice that I have to say about the Grimmsnarl matchup. I personally have not been having any troubles against it. It's been fairly straightforward. Largely, people cannot deal with Mimikyu. They don't know what to do when they can't damage the active or the bench, because I have Mimikyu and Shaman. So Shaman being a non-evolution Pokemon, you just slap that down as a basic from your Nest Ball or from an Artisan. Flower Curtain immediately protects all of your benched Pokemon that do not have rule boxes. So Clefairy, Mew, and Gardevoir obviously will not be protected, but everything else will be. So that 30 damage that does build up over time will not be happening to any of your basic, like any of your non-rule box Pokemon. It even protects Kirlia, which is nice too. Kirlia gets the protection from that. So be very stingy about when you decide to play Gardevoir. That's also a very important thing too. Realize that when you do play Gardevoir, you're very likely going to lose it immediately. So if you're playing Gardevoir, make sure that your board state is set up for a following turn without Gardevoir. So if you're leaving energy in the discard pile, for example, be aware that you're likely not going to have access to it the following turn. So if it's better spent on a Pokemon, right? If it's better spent getting a Drifloon set up and a Screamtail set up for a potential follow-up attack, at least give yourself a turn or two of damage going on board. make that happen. If you want to make sure that you have damage on board to push around with your Munkidoris, make that happen, right? Make sure that you're keeping a turn or two ahead, because once you put this card down, it's very likely it's going to get one shot by the Grimmsnarl. So it's going to take a bit of planning, it's going to take a bit of practice, but it's a very doable matchup, and I think, especially with this list, I've been having a very good time with it. Again, with this list, it'll be in the description of the video. Check that out. Let me know if it's been working for you. And be sure to check out the other videos. Thank you very much. YouTube has decided to only pick 5 people in the entire planet to have their channels have drops, and 4 of them don't even stream Pokemon. So, unfortunate. But if there are drops available, it is turned on. So, I have drops available if they are available to be dropped. But I do not think that is going to be the case. So, can we stop doing that? So let me put the freaking Pokemon down. Zero dropped, but the Patateno. Not the Patate. A Patate. Okay, this is another matchup I want to kind of see here. So we actually do want to have Shaman in this match, but that sucks that we're going to lose Shaman. We have ways of getting it back fairly easily, so... Azul GG. I don't even think Azul has it. I honestly don't even think Azul has access to the drops. I don't think Azul is one of the people, which is outrageous, but you know. That was kind of a wild, I don't know, that was very good for us. Course, every time I go up against this deck, I always have a Curly Apprised. Every single time. That's really unfortunate. You can't pick up your own Patate. You can't do that, Kate. Not Kate. Oh my god, Zero. You can't do that, Zero. So if this is a TM Evo turn, I'm actually okay with this. What do you do for the drop since you've already done everything that was said on the page? If you've had access to the drop already, you just have to go to the Pokemon Redemption website thingy. Just have Grimmsnarl already? That's disgusting. Actually dumb. It's fine, actually, because we are in a pretty good position to defend ourselves from the Grimmsnarl here, so... Yeah, there's like a Pokemon Redemption website you can go to. We'll just have to get the Shaman back, which is unfortunate for us, but... They can't damage anything on the bench right now. The Shaman will still be active until it gets knocked out. Oh, I guess they go after the Mew. Yeah, whatever. Don't care. If they're putting a damage on Mew, that's funny. That's fine with me. Alright, so we get what here? We have 3 energy in the discard pile. We get Gardevoir. We can retreat. Really, we get that damage. We get that anyway, so we'll put up the Drifloon. I would like to get a Dark Energy. That is not a Dark Energy. That's kind of annoying, actually. Oh yes, Gardevoir prized as well. Fantastic game. Fucking brilliant. Alright, so we get another energy down. We don't have a fucking charm. This is so fucking obnoxious. This is fucking obnoxious. If I put 7 on this, it's gonna knock out my Drifloon in return. So we have to attack with Monkey. They have nothing backup set right now, and they can do 60 damage, which will knock out Drifloon if they get double Monkey down, but we have to do what we can here, because like this is going to be really fucking obnoxious really quickly, so... It's going to force him to have to retreat. I don't know why these decks are so allergic to putting more energy down. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, now he's going to have to get another one set up here. A... Majipazin. Thank you so much for that follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Vee community. Did my best to pronounce that, but... Yeah, they have a very small hand. It just keeps dropping. Weirdo. Azul has drops? Okay, so Azul is probably one of the 5 people that has drops. And the other 4 people don't actually play the game. So there you go. Yeah, you can't... Team of Devo's not really going to be that effective here. For him, so... Thank you. Beautiful. That really is massive for me. That's huge. All right, Turos is very nice. Turos is extremely nice here because we can just clear up the damage on Monkey right away. We also could just double Mew. I think we want to double Mew. We have a ton of energy, right? We have 3 energy. We have 5 energy. Ooh. Bravery Charm. We Turo Monkey. $270, that's enough. But don't put Monkey down yet. Might regret it, but I also, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. We put Monkey down now. We get 2 on the prizing. No damage counters on board, which means Drifloon is fine. Oh, look, our Curly-Eyed Ralts that we should have had before. Secret Box at least is active next turn. Nailed it. Let's go. Fucking right. That Turo was massive. Turo was massive. So glad I put it back in the deck, honest to God. So again... This is a bit of a different way to approach Marnie's Grimmsnarl. Basically, you want to leave them, like you want to leave their Frostlasses in play, but they didn't play Froslass. They were very smart to not play Froslass here. Shaman was nice because it gave us a Pokemon that we could at least sacrifice. They're gonna put 30 damage on Mew, but that pigeonholes where they have to put the damage, right? So. They have Monkey out, they go Buddy Poff and show us that they're a Marnie's Froslass deck, which is fine. We go ahead, get Drawn Energy, which is awesome, so Earthen Vessel gets rid of that, Ultra Ball gets rid of one of the energies. We have Night Stretcher to get Gardevoir back in hand, so we want to be able to do that. We go ahead, restart. We get the Night Stretcher anyways. We don't want to put Gardevoir back in hand right now, so we just go ahead and Iono. which gives us the TM Evo. This was actually a crazy good turn for us because we got the TM Evolution, we got the Ultra Ball, we got the Buddy Puff, and we got the Nest Ball, we got Energy. So like we got everything we needed here to kind of get us going. So the only thing that sucked was we didn't get a second Kirlia because it was prized. So we get 1 Ralts down, we get Drifloon down, so now we have double Ralts. Nest Ball for Munkidori. We did everything we want to there except the double Kirlia. Getting double Kirlia would have been very nice there, but didn't need to. Thankfully, Arven's going to get them immediately Grimmsnarl, unfortunately for us. So they threw away Counter Catcher, they threw away Iono. Iono would have helped us a little bit, but they had to get Rare Candy Grimmsnarl to get that attacking right away. I'm not sure if that would have been a smarter play. To be honest, like getting out Grimmsnarl seems like the correct play here, but it also kind of just forces them to have to be attacking with Grimmsnarl. Now, one thing I'm very curious about, because this is very weird. I don't understand why Froslass Grimmsnarl players refuse to take more than 2 energy from the deck. So like if you have to retreat with Grimmsnarl, or like if they don't play Energy Switch, I think they should be playing Energy Switch. But taking out like 3 energy from the pile means you don't have to search for the dark energy. You can energy switch to the 3rd energy to a Munkidori or something else, or you just have that energy. If you have to retreat the Pokemon, you'll have a backup energy just to attach later on. You don't have to turbo again. I don't know, like, and it thins out the deck from energy. It makes it so much easier for them, but they refuse to do anything except the bare minimum. Very weird. So they knock out Shaman here. They put 30 on Mew. As Mew does not get, Mew is the only Pokemon that doesn't get protected by Shaman. Mew is going to be very important for us, so we needed to put down Mew in this matchup because we needed that extra draw. So there was no point in not putting down Mew. Drifloon goes into the active spot here because now we have a guarantee to get Gardevoir. Now we at least know we can get Drifloon powered up to a degree here. So Ultra Ball is going to get us. We draw an Ultra Ball, which is unfortunate because we needed a Charm. We needed to get to Charm to get to the knockout this turn, but we have to discard Rare Candy and we discard Energy to get more energy in the discard pile. Restart for 2 gets us an Energy, which is unfortunate, and a Nest Ball, which we don't really need. But the reason why we didn't discard both Ultra Balls is because in case we drew an Energy, which we did, so gets us the 2nd Energy in the discard pile as well here. We get Mimikyu on the bench. Mimikyu can at least like absorb attacks if needed here. So they do have a Munkidori, so we have to be conscious of that. So we don't have a Munkidori active, so we're not going to be attacking with Mimikyu because that's just asking for it to instantly get knocked out and by Munkidori, and then instantly having Grimmsnarl knock something else out. So we Psychic Embrace 1 to Drifloon to get damage on it, retreat to the bench. We Psychic Embrace 20-40 to Munkidori here. And we go for the Mind Bend on Grimmsnarl. So they don't have a backup Grimmsnarl to attack. They have to chance an attack with this one, which means if they flip tails, they're basically screwed at this point. So they take the 60 damage. It puts it in range of Drifloon just having 5 energies in the discard pile with Charm to knock it out, or less if they don't move if they don't move the damage off with Munkidori. But very, very good for us because now 60 damage plus confusion, they have to flip a coin every time that they attack. So it'd be very, very nice if we could avoid that because now Drifloon is going to be in a little bit of danger. So Spikemuth comes down, they go ahead and get a backup Impidimp. They grab TM Devo, which is not really useful at this point in time for them, and they grab Ultra Ball. They're trying to set up for a future turn here. They Adrenabrain 30 damage over to Drifloon. So now Drifloon has 50 damage on it. With no energy attached. So 50 damage means that we cannot turbo to Drifloon and we cannot just easily get to Balloon Blast. We need to get Charm. But what it does mean is if we do end up getting Charm, then we end up having a basically free 300 damage Balloon Blast attack, which is very, very nice. So they attack with Marnie's Grimmsnarl and try to. It flips tails. That was a massive, massive turn of events for us because now this has 90 damage on it. And we have 0 damage because they could have just knocked out Drifloon with the Shadow Bullet attack. That's what they were aiming for. They were trying to knock out Drifloon because that was a big threat for them. Flips tails. We get Professor Turo's Scenario, which is going to enable us to absolutely just demolish their board right now. So we Mew restart for 2. We end up getting Secret Box, which is a huge boon for the following turn as well. And we get Bravery Charm. insane turn. So if Mew was Pheasantipity, they didn't take a knockout that turn, we don't get these 2 cards. Because Mew is Mew, we do end up getting Secret Box, we end up getting Bravery Charm, which now enables us to use the Drifloon's attack. We Turo the Munkidori, because Munkidori is holding up 2 of our energies. So we get the 2 of the energies in the discard pile, promote Drifloon, Bravery Charm to the Drifloon. We Psychic Embrace 2040 because that's all we need to do. We could have embraced more. We didn't need to, but that's going to get us within range because we swing for 270 now because of the 90 damage that Grimmsnarl has on it already. We have a ton of damage on the Drifloon, doing 270 damage, knocking out Grimmsnarl, taking 2 prizes. Now our following turn's very, very strong because we have Secret Box. We now have 2 cards additionally that we can throw away, which is going to give us a brand new life on the game. We'll have an entirely new situation that we can do here, and our opponent just immediately conceded. So they had nothing to do there. They had Ultra Ball, they had Spike Myth, and they had Impidimp. So it did not look like they were in a very good situation because they did not take a knockout that turn. Likely didn't have Rare Candy because judging by that, I think they only have 1 Rare Candy in that list. So not having access to Grimmsnarl means that we can easily just start picking apart their board. We have Secret Box in hand, and that is going to be all she wrote for Marnie's Grimmsnarl. So a little bit of a more unique way to go after it. One of the biggest weaknesses for Grimmsnarl, Froslass, is that they do generally only play a single Grimmsnarl, which is not ideal because of that situation right there that just happened in front of us. We are going to just take that Grimmsnarl and knock it out in a single turn, and they don't easily have an access to a second one. They have to rely on their Munkidoris and their Frostlasses. We're not leaving damage on board, so their Munkidoris can't do anything. They don't generate damage because their Frostlasses are not out yet. And generally into the Gardevoir matchup, they should not be playing Froslass at all, because all that does is just generate more damage counters onto their Grimmsnarl, so that we can easily hit for 300 damage and knock it out on their turn. So basically, if they evolve to Froslass and use an attack or pass, Grimmsnarl is going to take 10 damage. On our turn, we get Drifloon, we get Charm, 5 energies, 300 damage. On the tick back over, Grimmsnarl gets knocked out. So not an ideal situation for my opponent because it knocks out a bunch of their countermeasures. And so again, I'm much more preferring the poison build of Marnie's because that has a lot more control over how much damage you're taking. And yeah, I much prefer that over Froslass for that very reason. But as you can see here, played 2 Froslass Grimmsnarls today, beat both of them pretty handily. Not a bad situation for us today. So here we go.